All right, my audience, this is Taylor. We got David and Kaylee. There you go. All right, and hi, I'm Sarah Schuster, and my specific purpose is to inform my audience about the dangers and reality of human sex trafficking. It doesn't matter how rich or poor, if you're white or black, fat or thin, a pimp can look at any girl and find a vulnerability he can exploit, says Brianna, who dealt with her own human sex trafficking experience. America doesn't even realize how close that human sex trafficking is. Many think that it's just across seas, but Brianna, as mentioned above, was just an average high school student in Washington State, where she was a cheerleader, a waitress at a diner, where that's actually where she got trafficked into, where she became a stripper and thankfully got out, but it really is happening every day around us. Human sex trafficking, an abusive and drug-related slavery trade, is being moved against by certain law figures and other methods. And it doesn't deal with just the foreign countries as proposed in the movie Taken, featuring Liam Neeson, where he goes and rescues his daughter out of a sex trade after she had gone to Paris, France with one of her friends and was captured into the trade. It is sad to think that slavery is still alive today when we thought that the Civil War had gotten rid of it in the 1800s. Human sex trafficking is the most common form of slavery today and has turned into a great business. The movies portray an awful idea of what it actually is, with very high-classy pimps and a lot of money and girls volunteering into the program, but that's not it. The FBI describes human trafficking as the pimp traffics young women and sometimes men completely against their will by force. The tactics for foreigners deals with a lot of getting the women in. A lot of them deal with homeless girls where they don't even realize that they're missing, and a lot more. The women and young girls who are brought into human trafficking world aren't even given the ability to fight back. In Taken, they do propose the correct idea in the use of drugs, but more common in America is the abuse. Dai, a Korean who was put into the human trafficking business in Las Vegas, dealt with this a lot and then viewed it from other girls. If I refused or didn't comply, I was taken underground and sentenced to various methods of punishment. She dealt with a lot of the human sex trafficking she was a part of the sex trade for 6 months and a part of other parts of the business for a lot more. A women pimp, also called a bottom, is really involved in it a lot, which is how Dai got into the business and even became one at the time. I got to the point where I could not stomach what I was doing. Repeating the pattern which held me captive for so long was unbearable. They did travel through trucks in the back of them where all the girls were piled in there, anywhere from 20 to 50 in a truck, where they were released at truck stops a few at a time, so not to raise caution, to clean up before an act, where then they were dispersed among motel rooms for being bought. It was delivered through the mouth and internet is how the people became known about their business and how to find them. And the girls traveled anywhere from Nevada to Pennsylvania, New York, Florida, Texas, and New York. Hopefully with federal laws, certain movement programs, and awareness, human sex trafficking will minimize and come to an end. In 2000, the law made against human sex trafficking with the passing of the Traffic Victim Protection Act, or TVPA. It was also improved in 2003, 2005, and 2008. The combination moves to provide the tools to combat trafficking in persons both worldwide and domestically, according to the U.S. Department of State. The act authorized established GTIP and President Interrogacy Task Force to monitor and combat trafficking in persons to assist in the coordination of anti-trafficking efforts. The End It Movement is also an organization that moves to shine a light on slavery, as their slogan is written. I became aware of this movement and passion, and that is how I became known of human sex trafficking. Human sex trafficking is an awful thing the world has come to know, but maybe some of us can get involved and change the outcome. The End It movement puts the release on the red X and does where you can wear it to show people more awareness. They also have the plan to wear, share, and download through their program. You can also become a specialized counselor. The Polaris Project has therapeutic services, both group and individual, along with crisis response teams, case management, empowerment and enrichment workshops, and the drop-in center. Now it's our turn, so I leave you with the challenge to shine a light on slavery. Because if you look at this chart, it has become unbelievable with how big slavery has gotten, with 27 million people in this world today. And this is also explaining how you become enslaved and the percents of sex slavery and work slavery. So let's end it and shine a light.